Right, we're now going to take a look at the word hurdle. This is minus more of that who was declared a non-runner some time ago. Annie Power is not going to go for this race, surely not.
No, she'd be booked for the mare's race, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I can't say that we won't see her line up just yet in the world.
Well, I like to take your money for that because I think it's an absolute shoo-in.
Yeah.
You know, take the easy option. The only thing is, as we discussed before, with Kuvega, it was specially trained for the race.
Yeah.
Annie Power is not trained for the race.
And to give you hope, he does train Glenn's Melody, which he might think, well, I'll chuck Annie Power in the world hurdle because he's got nothing really that stands out in the world hurdle. Yeah. And I would save Glenn's Melody for the David Nicholson race, the mare's run. I
mean, I can't have a bet on the race as it stands. Certainly, if Annie Power is declared for the world hurdle, you know, that's going to spice it up a little bit for me.
Do you think she stayed last year, Pete?
I think she stayed. I ran about 2-3, but I think she stayed. Yeah,
Just
I mean,
beat by Beryl, yeah.
Yeah, I think on the day, yeah, because I mean, Sarkanda horses like Sarkanda were behind.
Yeah, miles back, weren't they?
And no, I think all the optimism going into the race, I think was well delivered. I mean, she was getting some weight allowance as well from all that. Do you think she stayed? I think.
I don't think she properly stayed.
Right. Okay.
I think had she run in a shorter race, I think she would have been very hard to beat. She was, I mean, she was entered up. I mean, she was entered up in so many races, but she couldn't run in them for all sorts of reasons. I mean, you know, she couldn't run in the mares because of Kuvega, etc., etc. I think they ran her in the world hurdle as like a bit of a, they didn't know what to do, and I don't think she properly stayed.
Okay, this is the only anti-post bet that I've had. Saphir de Rheu.
You keen, yeah?
Yeah, I'm keen. I'm keen, and I had it last time as well at Cheltenham.
He was a good performance last time against Rheu de Sivela, but he was getting £4 from Rheu de Sivela. And I was disappointed he didn't beat him further. Rheu de Sivela is a good old stager. You know what he is.
Oh, yeah.
And I just, for a horse to win a world hurdle, I wanted a little bit more. And I don't think it's out of the question.
It was the first time to step up in trip, though.
Yeah, yeah. I think the horse in third might even reverse form with him. Because he was first time out after a long absence. I know he was well back, wasn't he? Which you think, well, he's probably ready for that. But
that was Temperature.
Yeah.
I mean, Rheu de Sivela, oldest horse in the race.
Yeah.
I think I'm with you on this one, actually, Pete, with Saphir de Rheu. You know, stablemate of Big Bucks.
Yeah. And same connections as well.
Foul chaser, back to...
yeah, absolutely. Again. I mean, I know they think a lot of this horse, actually, because they did put it over chases. It fell twice. Yeah. And in fact, it was in a race with Coney Green won. I mean, Saphir de Rheu, I mean, it's been nibbled at. I mean, this is a wide open.
To me, the price is just far too short. You know, a horse that's only run over the trip over hurdles once. For me, 4-1 in this race is far too short. What you really want to be finding is a horse you know can definitely stay. I mean,
I think he'll stay, don't you?
I mean, beating Rheu de Sivela. I mean, it's a good argument that he will stay.
And the ground was soft. It'd be better ground, give him a better chance as well. I think the stamina's not an issue. I don't think he's good enough.
If Rheu gets, I mean, if there's heavy ground, I'm a Rheu de Sivela man.
Yeah, which he won't be because the mild forecast is coming. We're going to be in our T-shirts next week.
This is British weather. Anything can happen.
15, 16 degrees here, promising. Funny enough, very quickly, it was baking hot last year.
It was.
On the Friday.
Yeah.
I was getting suntan. Yeah, it was. On top of the...
I thought it was just the stress.
Oh, right, OK. No, I know you were
probably that as well. But it has,
sorry,
Pete. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't got the best form at Cheltenham, so you know, I think.
Well, no, Saphir de Rheu has got pretty decent form at Cheltenham.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Rheu de Sivela.
Oh, Rheu de Sivela, yeah. Sorry. In terms of Sarkanda,
I can't have this.
You can't have this because of the way it was beat last year, or
the way it was beat at Ascot at Christmas in the long walk and Rheu de Sivela. For me, he's a twicer. I think he loves coming second, this horse, and if you see it at Ascot, he's cruising, he jumps the last, he's a length and a half clear, the race is over, and he throws it away. And he is only 8 years of age, but he's been around the block a long time. You think he's on the go since he's a juvenile, or like, he's also on the Triumph Hurdle, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I don't like his attitude, I really don't.
No. To me, Zarkanda's a grade 2 horse, you know, he's not a grade 1 horse. Yeah. I think Paul Nicholls is adamant that he's got him in the best condition he's ever had him, isn't he?
But you think he's going to need to? Yeah. And even then he might be 10 lengths short.
I think he's a twicer. I don't think he wants it.
Until Solwit, no previous champion hurdle contender had won the world hurdle since 1992.
Yeah.
So we are here for you to do your homework. Now,
you know, a number of horses have tried. You know, they've had a go in the champion hurdle, and then they come back a year or so later, and they have a go in the world hurdle. None of them have succeeded. The last horse that did so was in 1992.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
That's
Last
20
year,
years ago.
Harry Foy decided, and I was on this show many a time saying, "Rock on Ruby, why? What are you doing putting it over fences?" You know, sorry Harry, but I was right. But there's a question mark here about the distance. I think again with Rock on Ruby, even though I'm trying to remember the Greatrex horse that came behind, who came back at him.
Cole Harden.
Cole Harden, yeah, because it beat Cole Harden, didn't it, at Cheltenham?
Yeah.
And I just wonder whether that distance was the limit, because it wasn't 2.5,
Yeah,
And I just wonder, Rock on Ruby, again, a little bit of an afterthought. What race do we put that on?
Yeah, I think this is similar to Oscar Whiskey when they was trying to make it stay 3 miles, and I don't think it will stay either.
No.
And he's 10 years of age.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
You'd be hyped for. Surely there's been good improvers, isn't there? Like you said, they've tried the Arkle last year, there's nowhere to go. The World Hurdle now is the only race it's not quick enough for the Champion Hurdle anymore.
Yeah.
There's no 2.5 race for it. I don't think it will stay. I don't know about you guys.
I should probably add. I mean, it's the same as Zarkanda in the fact that it's a champion hurdle contender trying to win the world hurdle. For me, I couldn't back any horse that hadn't run over the trip already. I mean, for me, it's a race. Staying hurdling is a very niche. It's a very it's a niche area. You know, and to start trying to back horses to win a race like this that are unproven over the trip is unwise.
Okay. Your views on Rock on Ruby?
I really like Rock on Ruby, and I know I said, you know, I can't have a bet in the race, but I would say, if I had to, my money would be on Rock on Ruby each way. I think.
Well, I wouldn't put I wouldn't put John's money on it. A horse I've actually watched a couple of times in Ireland, Lieutenant Colonel. I mean, I mean, I thought that was quite a good race. Jetson, wasn't it, a couple of times,
Jetson,
I'm quite keen on this each way. I think it's quite.
So we're agreeing over time here. I don't know what's going on.
So I'm not sure it's going because I agree as well.
Oh, right, okay. Each way, or
each way. Yeah.
It's 10 to 1, isn't it? It's
12.
12, is it?
I think 12 with one firm. And I was looking at. Sorry.
Not with you.
Not with me. No.
He's 8.
I'm 8. Yeah, soon to be 7. I was looking at the one firm that are 12, and I'm thinking, twiddling my thumbs, plotting away.
Temptation.
Yeah. You know, beat Monks and that Fisher's Cross its first try at 3 miles.
It's a dual grey one when the Hatton's grey 2.5, so you know he's got a bit, you've got a bit of speed about you.
Yeah, and
he stayed really well last time out against Jetson.
Yeah.
And I tell you, there won't be a better jumper in this race than Lieutenant Colonel.
Yeah. Young and improving.
That's my angle. He's only 6 years of age.
You've got Brevita Savola, who's 10.
Yeah.
He's not improving, but I think Lieutenant Colonel is.
And interestingly, they tried chasing with this as well.
Yeah,
second and novice chase.
Yeah.
And then they've gone back the hurdle route. I like it as well. I think Jetson's a good horse.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
There are a number in here that I looked at sort of from a betting point of view, and I favoured a lot more horses that were sort of down the bottom of the market, 10s, 12s, 14s, than I did the top end of the market. And there's another one here. I mean, if it runs, Whisper.
Yeah. You've got to be a forgiving man because he's not. They tried chasing, didn't they?
Yeah, that's a nice horse.
Yeah. Very nice horse.
His jumping on fences was poor. That's what I've gone back.
But if you tie it in with Saphir de Rheu last year in the Welsh Champion Hurdle race, there's not much between them.
No, but only thing is Saphir de Rheu's in form, isn't he?
Whisper's
only seen the race course once this year, isn't he?
Yeah.
Perhaps he'll peak at Cheltenham and Nick Innocent will get him back, but I think there's a couple of question marks with Whisper.
And what about the forgotten horse here? I can't believe the price of it.
Yeah.
Brian Hill.
Funny hell, it's certainly one I've forgotten about.
Yeah, I haven't heard that name
last year,
I
remember, you know, I've got a sneaker. Whoa, well, this sort of thing we don't go out live.
I've got a bit excited.
Yeah. I mean, this horse was part of the sort of package last year, if you like, the 3 sort of bankers.
Mullins package.
The Mullins package of the 3 bankers, and one of them was Brian Hill, and it fell.
The question mark is how many more chances are you going to give Brian Hill? I mean, Brian Hill is always favourite or second favourite or third favourite, and how many?
But it's not this time.
No, you might get a better price about him.
Yeah, and it has won at Cheltenham, I'm sure it has.
Yeah. But he's always fancied. Not for me. I think he's had too many chances. He's let punters down too many times for me.
I go on record to say if that horse runs, I think it will run quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. And I think the Irish could well take this way. I mean, we mentioned obviously Lieutenant Colonel. there are a couple of others here. Going back to the pipe horse on Teps Poitou, who was backed into favouritism against Saphir de Rheu, had a big, cost fortunes, and there was a big gap between races. You think it might reverse the form with Zarkand?
I think there's a chance. There was, like you said,
with Saphir de Rheu.
Yeah, there was a lot of money for it when it ran at Cheltenham, and like you said, it was first run back for a while, and people might question whether it stayed or not. If you watch it back again, all it's doing is staying on. It will definitely get the trip. Better ground will help. And he's only unexposed. He was only a novice hurdler last season. He's only had, 2 or 3 runs with David Pike?
Yeah.
I think there's more to come from him, Tom, too.
He would.
Yeah, I like the horse, actually.
He was getting a couple of pounds from Saphir de Rheu. He was getting a couple of pounds from Saphir de Rheu.
Yeah, he was,
Ground, potentially?
I think it'll like better ground. I think that's one of the arguments to make. It might get a little bit closer to Saphir de Rheu.
OK. There were a couple of other sort of on the fringes here that we've not mentioned. Monksland, Blue Fashion.
Yeah. Both have not seen a lot of racing, have they?
No.
Blue Fashion's only run twice in 18 months. It's good form, though, isn't it? Second to more of that. Second to Faheen.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him for a while.
No.
That's the thing.
There's quite a few, though, that have slipped off the radar, you know, and it's like, do you want to really...
I think that the bookmakers have gone in with Saphir de Rheu, Zarkand, Rock on Ruby. I'm only because I did have an early price on Saphir de Rheu. That's why I'm happy with it. Yeah, as I said, that was the only anti-post I've had, and I still think of the English contingent that's got the strongest chance. But there was a number of chances here.
When did you back it?
I backed it around about Christmas time.
What, after it fell in the Felton?
Yeah, because I knew it was going to go back to hurdling. It was about 16 to 1 I've got.
Yeah.
So
you're sitting pretty then.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Good price.
Because the same connections as Big Bucks.
Yeah.
So
exactly
I thought they would go back down that route, and that.
Lightning struck twice.
Yeah. So I've got the 5, but there are question marks, as you said.
Yeah.
So World Hurdle selection.
Lieutenant Colonel. I'll take a chance on the improver.
Okay.
Like I say, I can't really have a bet. I think it's a pretty ordinary race as it stands. Wide open. If I had to say Rock on Ruby each way.
Okay.
For me, I'm a Lieutenant Colonel man each way. If there happens to be a deluge, a Noah-style sort of like deluge, then I'll be putting everything on Rheu de Savola each way. As it stands, I'm a Lieutenant Colonel man. Maybe one at the bottom of the list, which we didn't touch on, but See You at Midnight might have a small each way chance.
Yeah.
That's,
and not one of the biggest yards around. So
no.
and it did run really well. Was it Haydock? Carried a lot of weight as well that day. I'm on Saphir de Rheu, so I'm going to be kicking that on. But I do agree with you from the Irish contingent. I think Lieutenant Colonel 10-12 to 1 is terrific each way value, and I got a feeling that this market might squeeze up a little bit because I think on the day some of these horses ran about 10, 12s, 14s. They might get put in a bit, and I think I wouldn't put anyone off Lieutenant.
This is actually the Irish have a particularly poor record in this race. I mean, I'm still going for Lieutenant Colonel, whatever, but they have got a poor record in this race.
Right, OK, we're going to take a look at a couple of races after the short break, out of Triumph Hurdle, and a little bit of a look at Albert Bartlett, which had these guys like, panicking, because don't know what's running. But we're going to take a very short break. We'll be back after this.
Are you a special one? Have you got what it takes?